Picture this: the game clock winding down, the arena holding its breath, a player with a wide open layup to win it all. And then, clank! He misses it at the horn. Welcome to the wild, unpredictable, and downright hilarious world of NBA bloopers. Let's kick things off with what might be the worst dunk attempt in NBA history. A player goes up for what should be an easy slam off the backboard, but instead of finishing it himself, he thinks there's a trailer behind him. Spoiler alert, there wasn't. But sometimes it's not the phantom teammates who trick you, it's the real ones. Just ask Jonathan Kuminga, who was left looking foolish when Steph Curry called for the ball, while sitting on the bench, as they say, old habits die hard. Speaking of deception, Giannis Antetokounmpo took pettiness to a new level when he baited Jaylen Brown with a fake high five. Got him! But that's nothing compared to what John Wall endured during a post-game interview, when someone unleashed a silent but deadly attack that had him holding on for dear life. In playing together, getting better, just tough games. He managed through the invisible fog. Then there's Dwight Howard, who crossed a line you didn't even know existed by planting a kiss on a referee mid-game. Romance was clearly in the tsake-yi, air, but professionalism, not so much. The court is full of characters, none funnier than Kendrick Perkins trying to pull off a smooth move that ended with him sprawled on the hardwood. Luka Doncic suffered a similar fate when JJ Barea blindsided him with a move nobody saw coming, especially not Luka. Paul George learned the hard way that team defense requires communication when he pointed to the corner expecting his teammate to be there, only to find nobody home. That shot went way off, almost as off as that referee who tried to block Chris Humphries' shot. Talk about an overreaction. Sometimes the real victims are innocent bystanders. Just ask the fan who caught Christian Wood's inadvertent facial, leaving some meat on the bone. Ouch! But Donovan Mitchell might have had it worse when his arm got caught in a position arms simply aren't meant to go. The elbow never came out. That was nuts. Speaking of nuts, Shaq once had to urgently excuse himself on live TV. "You all right, big fella?" "Yeah, I just gotta catch a crap," he announced to America. "That's that olive oil you've been drinking."
Go ahead, keep talking, Chuck.
Yeah, we on TV.
I know what we're doing, go ahead.
Yeah, that's that olive oil you've been drinking.
I know.
Hey, take some matches with you.
Chimed in his co-host. "Take some matches with you." As Chuck rambled on, Shaq grew impatient. "Chuck, stop talking so damn much. Finish your points so we can go to break. I'm sitting here like, shut the hell up and hurry up." Sorry about that. America, no collection of NBA funny moments would be complete without Josh Hart, the king of getting left hanging for high fives. No player in league history has been stranded more often than Hart, making each celebration attempt a potential blooper. Some moments defy explanation, like Michael Beasley rubbing the wrong knee. How do you not know whose knee you're massaging? Or Chris Paul mocking the referee's timeout signal and somehow avoiding a technical. Then there's Russell Westbrook, who, accidentally, fired a perfect strike at a referee's head, tossed the ball because the timeout was called, and hit the official. Good golly indeed. Andre Drummond knows all about embarrassing moments. His attempt to Eurostep around Shaq ended with him throwing the ball to himself off the backboard without it touching the rim. What exactly was he trying to accomplish there? Otto Porter Jr. takes the cake for mental lapses though. He completely forgot which team he was on, putting his brain on autopilot and defending nobody. Hey man, get your head in the game. Even the greats aren't immune. LeBron James was caught flipping water bottles on the bench like a bored middle schooler. Then there's Shaq's brief, forgettable stint with the Celtics, which was pure comedy from start to finish. What is he? Oh, this guy's great. Oh, this guy's... Chris Paul hitting a three-pointer and breaking out an impromptu shimmy was memorable, but Ron Artest crossed a line when he casually tossed Trevor Ariza's shoe into the stands during live play. Even the refs get humiliated occasionally when one took a tumble. Tim Hardaway Jr. slid in to call him safe, like a baseball umpire. Kyle Lowry redefined creative offense by attempting to crawl through George Hill's legs. "I don't think I've ever seen anybody try to take their body through the guy's legs," announced the bewildered commentator. What was he doing? Mark Cuban pulled off the ultimate April Fool's prank when he staged a fake wrestling match with an official. "WrestleMania has busted out here," the announcer exclaimed before realizing they'd been had. "I have a hunch, guys, that this might be an April Fool's." Blake Griffin turned the hardwood into a slip and slide after getting shoved, skidding across the floor like watching a plane land. And LeBron James provided comic relief by trying on another player's prescription goggles, briefly transforming into the Goggles Flash. Shaq strikes again on our list when his Superman dunk nearly flattened his teammates, scattering them like roaches. Usually your bench guys stay there to make sure you don't get hurt," noted the announcer. But they said, "The heck with this, I'm getting out of the way." JaVale McGee took fan interaction to another level when he landed on a grandmother sitting courtside, accidentally planting a kiss on the cheek. She was head over heels for JaVale, literally. The award for most humiliating defensive play goes to Paul Pierce, who got hit with a crossover so deadly from Joe Johnson that he nearly fell over. It was like a cobra! But Pierce dished out jokes too, especially when brothers Jeff and Marcus Teague finally shared an NBA floor together, and he trolled them mercilessly. Kobe Bryant showed his legendary focus when Chris Rock, the funniest man in the world, couldn't make him flinch despite sitting right next to him and telling jokes. That's the Mamba mentality. Meanwhile, LeBron was caught on camera making the most bizarre facial expression ever seen on an NBA court. Kevin Garnett's notorious intensity once reduced teammate Glenn Big Baby Davis to tears on the sideline. Garnett, as he's known to do, getting on his guys? He can be a tough teammate, explained the commentator as Davis sat there openly crying. The NBA's funniest fight? That would be when Jeff Van Gundy latched onto Alonzo Mourning's leg during a brawl, being dragged around the court like a child clinging to his parent. Speaking of unexpected fan interactions, Blake Griffin once dumps water on a fan inadvertently after fouling out. He wasn't even looking and still hit his mark. Brandon Knight cemented his blooper legacy by missing what might be the easiest game winner in history. Oh, he missed it at the horn. But that might not be as bad as Sam Dekker, who had absolutely nobody around him and still managed to trip over his own feet. D'Angelo Russell's irrational fear of bats caused a game delay, while Anthony Edwards showed his personality after the Timberwolves advanced to the 2024 Western Conference Finals, promising to send Charles Barkley a list of good Minnesota restaurants. "I'ma find your number through somebody and send them to you." Some funny moments come from fans, like when a barber set up shop courtside for a mid-game haircut. Then there's Chuck Hayes and his free throw technique so atrocious that commentators couldn't bear to watch. That's one of those you don't even want to watch. My grandma shoots better than that. Speaking of performances to forget, when Fergie took the floor to sing the national anthem, no player could keep a straight face during her unique rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Carmelo Anthony created confusion when he showed up to Dwyane Wade's final game without a team and touched the ball, fooling the entire stadium into thinking he was going to take a shot. Meanwhile, a champagne-soaked Klay Thompson nearly lost his championship ring during the Warriors' 2022 parade. But nothing tops Paul Pierce's legendary wheelchair moment from the 2008 finals. When Pierce went down against the Lakers and was carried off in a wheelchair, it seemed his season was over. Miraculously, he returned minutes later to lead the Celtics to victory in an unforgettable performance. Years later, Pierce finally confessed the truth on a live broadcast. "I have a confession to make. I just had to go to the bathroom." When asked why he needed a wheelchair, Pierce admitted, "It was bad. Something went down." In one sentence, he erased the heroism from one of the most iconic moments in finals history. James Harden took repeated blows to the head, first from Giannis Antetokounmpo's fastball speed pass to the face, then by dribbling the ball into his own chin. But Nick Young's self-inflicted humiliation might be worse, celebrating a three-pointer before it actually went in, only to watch it rim out. Russell Westbrook got caught sneaking his cheat meal on opening night, while the LeBron Lance Stevenson. Beef reached peak comedy when Lance blew in LeBron's ear, leaving the king in disbelief. Paul Pierce's game winner almost turned tragic when teammate Nate Robinson nearly decapitated himself during the celebration. Meanwhile, Zion Williamson was caught nodding off with less than a minute left in a close game. Carlos Boozer accidentally uppercutted a referee in a sensitive area, and then years later showed up to a game with spray-painted hair. This is 5 years later, and I'm still hearing about it. When a reporter asked Russell Westbrook if his team lost or if the Jazz won, Westbrook's reaction was priceless. "What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? I'm out, man. Y'all trippin'." Patrick Beverley celebrated clinching a play-in tournament victory as if he'd ended world hunger, shedding tears and screaming, "They going to burn the streets down!"